for the coordinates people.
No, that's great.
Oh, except I'll have my little stand and fun stuff.
Yeah, well,
You got a nice
One
little
one step
picture
at a-
there.
That's
It's
pretty
probably
clear.
washed out to sea by now, but
It is, yeah.
It's pretty clear, actually.
Okay, so this time we'll call to order the comprehensive plan meeting for this evening. Present are, to my left,
make a big talk.
to my right,
Don Hernan.
on Zoom,
Jay now.
and Michelle Felicetti. So, I sent a bunch of wild emails today. I didn't know if everyone was able to follow the link from the, it's the right notebook here. Tasks, to Tom Miraglio. Oh, wait, no.
Yes, I saw that.
So I'm gonna call, were you able to see that,
Yeah.
Dave?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I was able to read it.
Dawn, oh, what's the password to the Wi-Fi here, guys?
Oh,
0402_.
It's on the thing out there.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see if I got mine or not.
this is the
Come on,
new
what's
laptop.
going on here? God damn it. This thing's not working.
Oh, I was close. I got half of it.
Settings. Oh, yeah. Once you put it in there, it automatically logs me in. I don't,
Yeah, this is a new laptop.
Oh.
I haven't had it that long. I've had it just for work.
TOL guest.
Yep.
Okay, I'm in that one.
So I'm checking the network right now. All right, I'm connected. So this was the Municipal Planning Assistance Program. So this Tom Miraglio is more than willing to meet us via Zoom to answer questions that we may have.
Mhm.
The cool thing is these are all towns they've done. But what they're hoping to do in the end is everything is gonna be fluid. It's gonna be fluid data.
Yeah,
That's their
great.
goal in this 2024.
That's-
So
Oh,
that-
you mean fluid data, it's going to be in a database?
It's gonna be up to date in the moment, constant.
Oh,
So
But-
instead of
but-
having to say, hey, we need our town
Right.
redone, as they're redoing them, they're adding them to a database that becomes fluid. It's always in motion. So there's always data being updated. So anytime you go to check it, it's the most up-to-date
right.
statistics you can
And
find.
what basis, is it on a county basis or is it on a state? Or did he, I'm
From
not,
what I could tell, it's gonna be by town, because he says,
Oh.
upon request from a town's comprehensive planning committee, they'll collect and share certain state agency data that are appropriate and useful to towns undertaking a local comprehensive planning effort. Because we collect this information from a variety of state agencies and do so only twice a year,
Ah.
towns should be certain to get on our resource package list in advance of needing the data. The data that we've requested will be available in April.
right.
So
And
we
that,
make the first deadline.
I can see those towns there are fall of 23,
Right,
so.
those just happened. So spring of
Spring.
2024, we got on the list. Thankfully, when I emailed today.
And there's no money issues with the
No
town?
money at all. This is the state thing.
Good.
So this is free, and he's offered to meet with us.
Good.
And get via Zoom, give us advice. We can
No,
ask
that's
questions.
fine.
And
That's
again,
that's
this is
fair.
all through the state of Maine, agricultural
Huh.
conservation and forestry. So this is something that actually, which is fantastic, is gonna be, looks like a free place for us to get information and the information that was at the back of the old comprehensive plan.
Yeah, so the question I would have is, which I don't know that you would know the answer, or he should know. Is it going to be the same level of detail? I mean, in the back of the comprehensive
Yes,
plan, there's
because
quite a
if you
bit.
look, like, if you just wanted to pull up Beals, because you can pull up their data.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
So
I'm trying
all
to-
of these that are blue,
Yeah.
it's a big one, it's gonna take 10 minutes to download.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't, this thing
Hi.
here will take me an hour.
Yeah, but is this link to this website, is that one of the docs that you sent us today? Is it anywhere in any of those docs?
Well, you're gonna see some of the stuff that, like, I had a document that I pulled up some of the,
Oh.
from the surveys and
Yeah,
other
so,
comp plans.
Yeah.
When you go further down, I think it was, some of them further down actually have their plans done.
Yeah.
So you actually could see the data and
Yeah.
like, I think it was Elliott was 385 pages?
what?
Yeah,
That's
it was
ridiculous.
huge.
Yeah,
Um,
Oh, that's
So
Wow.
this is their website.
It seems over the top. So they got a separate link on their town website? Or-
Well, this is actually not, so this is what I thought was cool about Elliott. They had a youth survey for results.
Oh, a youth?
Youth survey right here.
Okay.
So they did text-based questions to the
Oh my
youth
God.
of the town,
Wow.
which I
that's
thought was a
pretty
really cool idea.
cool. That's
So
really
here you have, what do you like about living in Elliott? Check all that apply.
Okay.
And open space and wildlife areas is one of the highest, and small town rural atmosphere, which I think would be very similar to what we would get for responses.
cool. I think so too.
Would think.
The ones that, what they don't like about it is places to shop.
Right.
Other was just
Sure.
other, I'm sure there's, but like like the neighborhoods, easy to get places. And then what would you like to see more of in Elliott? And this is from the youth, places to shop.
Right.
Restaurants and cafes, sidewalks and bike trails.
Yeah, good luck with that.
And more height, you can see what they're saying here. And then for youth, do you plan on living in Elliott when you're an adult?
Hmm.
It's a very interesting question to ask the youth of this town, and I'm sure we could get maybe Massabesic to help with
Mhm.
getting these kind of results, especially text. If it's text, kids are gonna do it.
Yeah, but how, okay, so you either have to get somehow get a list of them or come up with a
You could actually
database.
come up with a QR code they can scan and then it would mail to them.
Yeah, but how would they get the initial one
We could actually have the school, like, send it out to Lyman kids.
if they would do that?
I don't see why they wouldn't. We can ask.
Yeah, yeah.
They can make an announcement, anyone from Lyman interested in giving, feedback on their town, there's a QR code.
No, that's a good idea. No, that's the way people are doing things. So
Do you
it's
feel
good.
like they have enough housing in commercial buildings? That's interesting from a kid's point of view, they're saying yes.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, my guess is no if you went to the adult survey.
Right, probably.
How would
Anyways.
you like to see development grow? And so it thought was really neat
Huh.
that, then you get the whole kids got to actually, in their own words,
Say what they
so
want.
I don't know, it's like, what are your ideas for improving park recreation opportunities, outdoor nature areas in town? More places for kids to play, like skateboarding parks, ice skating rinks.
Uh-huh. Good luck with that.
Some say, I don't know, better downtown. So it was just nice to kind of see that they involve the youth, and I think that's so very important where we are trying to bring that next generation into the running of the government.
Yeah, this would be the methodology for getting the information out, and then I don't know how much trouble it is to collate it. Maybe it's done automatically.
Military does it for you.
Oh, does it?
Yes. So, let me see, we're still downloading, I'll do one Beals just for the heck of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably
But there
slow
was
here.
one of these here, I don't know, like a their Survey Monkey. Again, this is where you can see results. This is their survey that they did. So they had 1,103 people
Wow,
answer.
Responded. That's a lot.
So will contain 8 overarching areas. For each area, indicate its importance to you. So historical and archaeological, nature and water is big.
Hmm.
Agricultural and forest is low. Housing, it's interesting you see housing low on some of these. But when you do these, this is what SurveyMonkey gives you. You can put out your survey and your data comes back like this for you to review.
And does
So-
that cost us anything?
The town already has a MailChimp subscription.
Right.
And it's like $40 a month. Allows them to have unlimited surveys.
Okay, so in other words, it doesn't cost this committee
It will not
anything.
cost this committee anything that, we would probably have to do the survey, like come up with the stuff for Lindsay to put
Right,
out.
right.
I have some working knowledge and I've worked with MailChimp for a few years.
So it's not too difficult to format.
No, they give you their cookie cutter formats when you go.
Okay.
And you can review it and send a test one before you launch it to the public. It's quite user friendly.
No, I think it'd be worth a shot.
So this is where you get what's somewhat important, not, very important. So I thought it'd be really neat to look at the few that I just grabbed really quick. I just looked up comprehensive surveys, town, state of Maine. And I just grabbed the ones that were local, like closest by.
Mhm.
And so some like Ellsworth wasn't real close, but I just grabbed whatever showed up and gave me something like this that I could actually look at
Mhm.
with their questions. And then we can see the questions they're asking. And for some places, like a banquet, this is a big question, is parking.
Yeah, obviously, some people that have more retail areas might have an issue with that.
Yeah, like for them, protecting
We
the
don't.
beaches was a big concern in the next 5 to 10 years. Preserving spaces, the architectural character and charm of Ogunquit was important, 50% thought that was important. Maintaining Perkins Cove, 44%. Preserving marginal ways, 61%. So given limited funding, which 3 areas do you think are most important?
Okay.
And for Ogunquit, you got water and natural resources, public facilities, and economy. Interesting, housing is still so low.
Yeah.
But this is Ogunquit, it's a tourist town.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
truly all
A
year
lot of
round.
transients in that town.
Right. So how important is each item to you in managing town's growth? So I thought if we could all take time and go, and, because we're gonna have time now to,
Yeah.
we can kind of pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah.
Go through these surveys that we see and maybe jot down what we think would be a good
Mhm.
thing to do for our town. I think the youth survey is a fantastic idea. I would like
Yeah.
to definitely throw that out there and get that out there, to, post it, parents, have your kids fill it out. Here's a QR code. Kids will do anything from a phone.
Yeah, but as long as just from a protocol point of view, does that, or should that goes from the school, should parents be notified? I mean, in other words,
I think they would be. I think they could have a general email blast.
yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that I don't have
Right.
any children in this area, in this age group or anything, but I'm not sure that, as long as the parents, we're not trying to do something that the parents don't know about, that's my
Right.
point.
We get a notification home even for my son at 8 years old. He's filling out a survey right now for
Oh, really?
national.
And they let you know.
Yes, we got a letter to state
Okay.
if you'd like your child to opt out, you can sign a
Sure.
letter to say opt out. It's
No, that's
giving-
good, as long as the kids, parents
It's
are
actually
informed.
asking my son questions about like getting along with other children, diversity. They're actually
God.
asking them all these questions and they're great. And so you can opt out or you can let them take it. So
No,
we
as long-
give you
again, I-
notification.
As long as the parents are notified, that's the main thing. You
Yeah,
don't
and I think
want
that would be the
to-
safe thing. You compose a letter from the Charter Commission from the town of Lyman.
Mhm.
We love the input from the youth from the town of Lyman, with parents' permission. Here is a QR code for a survey if you're willing to.
And we'd have to, the only issue we might have is that not everybody is on that, unfortunately, they're not on that MailChimp list, right?
Right, but that's where the school has the kids. They
Yeah.
can send the emails.
What about the parents though?
Yeah, they have the parents.
No,
They-
if just counting what the school would do,
Yeah.
if you had to have a survey to go to people who live in town, the only way we can get it out efficiently is on the MailChimp, right?
Yes, but they're also, like, some of them mentioned they all had paper copies for surveys in the office available.
Okay, so if they
So-
come in here, they can know about it.
They
We
could do
put it on the
that.
sign, put it on the MailChimp.
If they wanted someone to set them up on a computer at the library, they could.
Oh,
do it
no,
at
the library's a
library,
good
sure.
resource. That's a
They
good
could-
resource.
You could ask the library to have it saved on the browser and
So no mailing.
unless we thought it was really necessary. I mean, we're in a
Yeah.
comprehensive plan. I don't think it's bad to do a mailing, at least one.
Depends on the money. And,
Right.
and
Well, we're near tax bill time. We could lump it in the tax bill letter.
That would be a whole.
that would be a
Because
good,
I
that's a
feel like
freebie.
That's a
The
freebie.
elderly,
They're
I
already
think
doing it.
especially.
You talking about me again?
Well.
Yeah,
No.
Probably true. Probably
But I
true.
do think that there's a lot of people that, in the town that just don't,
No, I mean, I don't,
they don't go to this.
no, and I don't know why they would. I mean,
Right.
because if they don't,
Town of Bristol,
need it.
385 pages.
385 pages?
Dave, did you see that one? Are you there, Dave? Did you fall off?
He fell out of his ship.
No, I'm here, sorry.
Did you look at the town of Bristol? It was like 385 pages.
Oh, gosh, that's way awful big.
But this, I mean, it has a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
So what's your thought on the survey, Dave? And,
I think it's a great idea. The old, I'm hoping that with the survey, you can also prompt like a yes or a no answer.
yes, you can. Yep.
Okay, so, you, and this isn't so much for, obviously for the students, but, well, let's talk about the students for a second. What do you think of some sort of internship for town hall civic learning or a fire department internship?
I think that's a really cool idea.
well, Dave, Unless they've changed the fire department, right? I'm not calling it exactly an internship, but the fire department is configured now to have, I think, two, maybe more, at least two live-in students. And they get credit depending on where they're taking their training. And they also get to go on calls. I don't know if they get paid anything or not. The fire chief would know, but I remember when I was on the fire commission, they had a couple of students there, and they were pretty helpful after they got qualified, for example, to drive vehicles and things like that. But these were people who were going actively to a training course at, say, Southern Maine or some other facility.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's a good idea. I'm just saying, I think they have that ability now for intern. I don't know about the town hall. We never had an intern here, have we?
I don't think they've ever had one, but that would be kind of neat for someone to work maybe Wednesday nights with,
If they'd be
the
interested. Get
window
some,
people, just to see how town governance works. And-
or doesn't.
Yeah, or doesn't, true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great point.
No, I mean, you ever look
True
at,
story, Don.
when I look at
True story.
YouTube, I mean, you go to some towns and, oh my God, you want to go in there with your armor on. I mean, it's like, oh, horrible.
So this one looks
So,
like,
so yes, I think that's a great feature. If we can, you know,
Guess,
not only ask for information, but give them some questions that they can, you know, check the box on.
yeah, this is interesting because they even collected like how many building permits and plumbing permits they got per year.
wow.
So.
Well, that's a method that would show you an element of growth, I would
It
say.
would, and that's where I think, you know, is voluminous as Bristol is, they had some really good things, like they had their fire and rescue.
Mhm.
I don't know if you saw me flipping through that. From 2000, you know, for the year of 2021, they had a total incidents broken down by,
Right.
what they responded to.
And-
That
Yeah.
would be interesting factors too, to see if they even divided up between Dayton and Lyman. I would like to see those numbers split out that way.
I would think
I
that
have the building permit.
I think the fire chief has that data. I don't know if it's, because he, you know, they know how many calls they went on, and he has on his website, on the GMFR website, there wasn't, in the past at least, you could go on there and read his annual report and stuff like that, and would give you some, I'm not saying it's
Right.
exactly that data, but similar to
But
it.
maybe we could give this to him or something similar to
Yeah,
this.
get
and
some-
say, you
get
know,
his
hey, can
input.
we Get it between the two towns and
Yeah.
how much will be grown? Maybe he could give us 2 years worth of data.
Well, I'm sure he could.
You know,
I mean,
and-
well, if,
Because the
you know,
more we have, the more we can show the public, this is how much we've grown, so they can understand why things have been increasing, and there's not much we can do with some of these.
some of them are going to continue.
Right, so they have, I mean, it was a very, very big plan.
Oh, God, though, it's, well, I mean, the only other thing I would say is, you know, I mean, it's one thing to have a lot of backup material. It's another thing in assuming maybe there's a summary that has actions or something, but, you know, if you have a 380-page plan that's full of actions, you probably aren't going to get anything done.
What
I
are
mean-
they putting that in there for?
That's just it. Some of these, I think, this is what they just put it in here. They have their boards and committees, and they have harbor and land. There's some things we're not gonna have.
Yeah.
Of course.
And some of that stuff is in the charter and other places, and whether
Right.
it needs
And
to
then
be in
we
a
can always
comprehensive
give a
plan.
reference to the charter for the
Yeah.
town governance and how it runs. They did put it in here, but, I mean, they have stuff in the here, elder care network. They
Yeah,
don't have one
Can
of
you go back
those.
up to that?
Their general assistance program seemed larger than ours. I don't know how they do.
I don't know
this.
what's the population of this town? Or,
Oh, gosh.
oh, I know. I don't need to know right now, but I'm just saying, I wonder if it's a lot
What
larger.
town are we on?
We're in Bristol, like, they have Shelter Conservation Committee. We don't need one of those.
No, not yet, depending on the rain and the weather.
Right.
So,
They had I think it was up here when was this population census? So Bristol has 2,834 people.
wow,
Yeah,
it's a relatively small town for this size of,
but look at their budget and it's right, well, property valuation there is their Camden, which is almost twice the size. They don't have a town charter, so that's why it's in their comprehensive plan.
okay, I got you.
And they're working on their comprehensive plan, so it says no, so they're getting one, but they have town administrator.
Okay,
Um,
all right, so,
And it's broken out.
Yeah.
Administrator or manager.
So this is, but this is more like St. George's in here, I love St. George.
Oh,
And,
God.
Field trip.
I think we do have St. George's comprehensive plan in the list, I did put them in. I did put them in there. So again, I just grabbed those really quick to put in the OneNote, because I just thought this was a good place to kind of be able to do things, and get things done, like Ellsworth had, I think this was their survey. Theirs was interesting the way they did it. It was a little hard to follow. Is that the one, or is that? So, and they have it by phases.
Well, that's, actually, that part's a good idea.
Yeah, and they
phases
did, I
showing
like
that.
the way that they broke it out, was, they had it broken out in phases, and I thought that might be a good way for us to look at it as well. Is this the one that had, this is their survey.
Well, that looks pretty professional.
Yeah,
I wonder if they had some help.
here, see, they have the QR code, share
Yeah.
your thoughts.
Oh, they got some money too. They're giving gift cards.
Yeah, look at that. Maybe this is the survey. Oh, I know the survey's in here because I had gone up in the same spot. Find it. Not that one. Come on. It was an interesting way they did it. It was almost like moving boxes. It was strange.
Huh. Well, that's a lot. Somebody has done quite a bit of work
There
here.
was one town, I'm trying to find it right now, but there was one I was looking at that, was one comprehensive plan I thought was really good, because, they were very similar to us in size, and I'm trying to remember it. Let's try to remember.
This is Ellsworth. So, I guess, where do we want to start? What's everyone feeling? I mean, at this point, we're almost like throwing fish at the wall. It's,
Well, I guess the issue is what can you do or what should we do efficiently before we get data? Because we know we're not going to get data until probably April, maybe, or I don't know, depending on what the gentleman says there from, and he's from a state, you said?
Yeah.
He's not from Southern Maine. He's nothing to do with Southern Maine then,
no,
regional planning.
no, what that I saw, not his email address.
Okay, so that's a little strange, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know who, I
So
really
it's
don't.
just census data that they're giving us.
They're just giving data, like here, this is what it is, like.
Yeah.
I just did Beals, so I don't know what's gonna, a quick index of digital data.
That's just the mapping though, right?
Right, well, there's a whole bunch, I mean, unfortunately, there's so much data, you have to open each one
Oh, I see.
individually.
I'm wondering if Southern Maine takes this, I wonder if this is the source of their data. I mean, it seems strange to me that there would be,
Yeah, but I'm not seeing any like demographic data, like age groups of the population. Are you?
Right, but I think, I don't know if that's why we have to click on here. Please follow the links listed below for comprehensive.
there's a
metadata
projection
following.
there.
So, census,
Census data, you would think it would be in there, right?
And you have to, oh, I see. Okay.
so this is where we have to, this is where we would get,
Population by race, population by
Holy, how do they get that
housing
data?
occupancy, group quarters.
this is all state. It's the state economist.
Okay, I don't want to be a pain in the neck. I'm just saying, when you see that stuff, you wonder, how do they get it? I mean, who knows? How do they know how, unless they get it out of the DMV or something?
So.
How do they know how old you are?
Population.
They get it from the census, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what they asked in
So
census.
here's where they're saying,
Well, I guess that's the only source of hopefully accurate data, if it's accurate.
so 2020 and 2010, they're showing total population, so. let me see
It's
if I
got to
can-
come from census.
Yeah, Arundel is so close to us, and Arundel really does have
So by
population
York
that's
County,
almost the same as us.
like if you look at York County, total population was 21,000 in 1972, and it went up 8% between 2010 and now. So I don't know how we look up Lyman in here, if it is in here this way, because I don't know if there are other. listing
Alphabetic order.
things. Hopefully.
Yeah.
We're not.
Ladies and gentlemen, do those microphones move?
Yes, does that help?
Yeah, if you could just bring bring them to you a little
Okay.
bit
Yeah.
more, like, people might be able to hear you better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
I mean, I can, but
Oh.
I'm focused in, you know, I'm thinking that if anybody's watching.
Well, that's true.
Watch this.
I've listened to some meetings and it is hard to understand people. I mean, the visual is good, but you can't, it's hard to understand them. So it doesn't do you much
Can you
good.
search for them up there, Michelle?
I think so.
Can I ask an out of the box question?
Okay, here we go. Yes.
So I'm flipping through our, it's 10 pages.
Yeah.
Here's my thought, how hard would it be, or would it make sense to take the comprehensive plan as is, separate, you know, like, let's see, go to economy, and you see goals. And it's just to promote environmentally compatible economic development that broadens the town's tax base and job opportunities while preserving the town's rural and village character.
Uh-huh.
And you put it exactly the way it's stated, and you put it out there with a space underneath,
Uh-huh.
and it would be, you know, out to the public, what would you change?
Okay.
And let them, or let anybody go on it. They could download it, or they could, you know, just work a working document online. And they could make a change of, you know, what would they change about the goals? What would they change about the policies? What would they change about the strategies? Wouldn't that be a decent, what did you call it earlier? We were going to do
Survey?
yes,
Well,
a survey. I know it would be long, but somebody could actually go through this whole thing and input their ideas.
this is what I think, Dave. I think that if we don't make it easy,
Yeah.
they're gonna put it in the shredder.
Yep.
If they can't click or check
Yes or no.
or yes or no,
Yeah.
or one of the four, I agree, I strongly disagree, or whatever we do.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
You
they
could take
will.
that statement goals and say, do you agree or disagree with the statement? And then, you know, if they disagree, there could be a space to put an answer.
Yeah.
But so that
Same
changes,
difference.
or they can not put an answer, so it's not like required they give one. You know?
Yeah.
That type of simple thing like that. Or we could just have a, do you agree or disagree with the statements? And then if we get a lot of disagree with the statements, then we go back to the second survey and hone in on what that example is that they're disagreeing with.
Yes.
Does that make more sense? So
Mhm.
it's like almost like some spoon feed, as baby steps. Let's first of all see if you
Yes.
agree with this.
Yes.
And if we get 50-50, we know, geez, we're really gonna look into this. If we get 90% saying, yeah, I totally think this is really my vision alignment still. That's great. So I think the initial survey should be yes or no.
Yeah.
Like we've seen from the other ones that I was able to find. And then, you know, maybe we do our first survey before we start having meetings with someone for advice. Do you know what I'm saying?
When do tax bills go?
April,
April?
well, before April.
Sometime before April,
I think the month, like 30 days before, right?
I would think. Yeah, I mean, you got to pay it twice a year, April and
Yeah,
October,
April
so,
or October.
Before April, you're right.
so
So
it's got to go out
this
pretty
is my
soon.
thing, there's 6 sections here
Uh-huh,
in these 10 pages.
uh-huh.
Should we break it down into 2 surveys? Or like take the first 3 sections, put it in one survey, and then the next 3 sections and do another survey? Or should we just like stick to X amount of questions, maybe 2 questions per, or 3 questions per section, 3 questions on economy, 3 questions on education, housing. I do think going out in the tax bill is very important.
Yeah.
I think that's
They're
really
already paying for
important.
the mailing, so we're just
Yes.
jumping on, we're not expending any money by doing it.
Right,
Well, but as far as that's concerned, I mean, normally, I mean, there could be a statement in there referring the people to a database or something. I mean, I don't think you're going to try to send out the whole survey in the tax thing, are you?
No, I think that, it can have a definition of what it is in stating if hard copies are available in the town.
Hmm.
Or you can click on this or scan this code.
Something rather sort of simple in
Yeah,
there. Okay.
scan this code, click on this link, or pick up your hard copy at the town hall.
or email us and we'll
Yeah,
send
or
you
email,
one.
or email us and we'll email it to you or mail it to you if you can't, or call. Have every option available. Email, call, scan a code, click a link. Like all of them are right there,
Yep.
available for them.
Yep.
Well, I mean, at least that would, I think, that Dave's idea is good. I mean, that would at least make people, maybe would make people aware that there is a comprehensive plan.
That's absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that anybody knows about it.
You're forcing them to read, or
Yeah.
not you're forcing them, but
Yeah.
you're giving them the opportunity to read and comment
And maybe
what we're trying to accomplish.
we could ask for our color paper and the mailer to be a different color.
Yes, yes.
Well, what,
Well, and honestly though, I think that's a valid point because I could honestly name 5 people that couldn't tell you what a comprehensive plan is.
well, most people, why would they know it?
Right, and would know. You're right. Why would they know
So
that?
how many sections do we have? 1,
6.
2,
There are-
6. So I tell you what, to break it up,
2,
one of them is really big,
3,
which is
4,
the services,
Right.
land
5,
use, and roads and transportation.
6.
Um,
There's actually 7.
There's 7
Oh,
on
is there
solid
7?
waste.
Yep.
We're
okay.
back on
So
the
it's almost
solid
2
waste.
sections per
Solid waste,
person on the committee, so, like some of them are a little bigger. But how about we each took a section and came up with survey questions from the section we're looking at,
I think that's a good idea.
so.
Okay, I can work
why
on
don't we
I'm
go
doing
ahead?
housing.
You wanna do, so Peg, why don't you do housing and, do you wanna do land use?
Yep.
So Peg is housing, I'm just writing this down, actually, I'm gonna put it in the notes here.
Yep.
So tonight's meeting,
Housing and land
Is-
use.
and Peg is gonna do housing and land use?
Yep.
Dave or Don, what do you want?
Hmm.
Whatever,
I don't have a,
assign something to me.
All right,
Give
well,
Dave roads and transportation.
Dave, why don't you do, wait a second. Well, where you were on the, board, I'm gonna give you municipal services and roads and transportation.
Dave is going to be what, municipal services?
So let me just write this
Is
down.
will you follow up with an email on that?
Yes, I can do that. Yep, and the town manager. So,
What does that leave now? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be 3 more.
so we have, I don't mind taking economy and education, is that okay?
Do it.
I think one of us has to do 3, and I don't mind doing 3 if that's what.
Economy
What
and
they are.
education. So what does that leave? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's only one left.
So Dawn, where are you, Dawn? You got solid waste.
Well, there's what about, is there fiscal, what about, is fiscal management in there? You didn't call that one out, did you?
Which one?
Fiscal management is on page 4.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh, yeah, fiscal management. You'd be good at that one, Don.
Where's fiscal? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, just don't spend money.
Dawn,
Don's
your solid
fiscal.
waste and fiscal management.
Okay, God. Solid waste.
On it.
I got a lot of solid waste in my basement. Jeez.
There's
I know a
Dawn,
good plumber.
Dawn, and Dawn.
No, okay, son, what do you, let's repeat what you're looking for here.
Okay.
Well, not you, but
So,
we are
yeah,
looking.
we are looking for. Just gonna write your note. So basically, if we all can take these, we have some documents to peruse that I've put in Drive as well as this notes thing that I've started. I think if we could all take these sections and, look at what we can from the other stuff that we've gathered so far.
Yeah,
Come up with a few survey questions for the sections
Questions.
you're assigned to.
okay,
So I don't think there's like a ton. Some sections are bigger.
right.
But I think if we all could come up between 3 and 5 questions per section so that's a total of what?
Well, if you had 5, there's
10, 20 questions.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Apparently there's 8 sections,
So
so
8 times, worst case scenario is 40 questions. But if we can, some solid waste is very tiny. I can't imagine they're gonna
Yeah.
have 5 questions.
Right, right.
So I think 3 minimum.
Yep.
5 max per section,
Yeah.
unless you really feel you need more.
Yep.
If we all can come up with 3 to 5 questions before our next meeting,
okay,
and then you can send your questions to me in advance and I'll compile them into a document.
okay.
And we can review them and go over them, because I think getting this ready for the tax bill is really important, and that gives us a chance to contact the town manager
Sure.
and let her know that this is the avenue we think is
Well,
best.
and I think it would be worth it to let her know that what the approach is and see if she has any
Input.
conflict with that or any issues with that.
Yep.
And then also would enable you to find out when the tax bills are gonna go out.
Right.
Mm.
Because I know when approximately, but I don't know when.
No, I could do that tomorrow morning, and I also could talk about the youth survey and see what she thinks about that, so let me put this in here too.
Okay,
Yeah, I like it.
yeah, that's an
The youth
action.
survey can always come later too, I'm not so more concerned about that as I am
Yeah, for sure.
that'll be secondary, I think.
Yep.
If
Yep.
everyone agrees with me.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Dave,
Yes, yep.
I just don't think that's as pressure
Mm.
pointed is getting the first survey off the ground.
And you can, and once the questions are in, you can develop a uniform format or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And Lindsay and the town manager can choose to help tweak the questions or maybe add other ones that she thinks would be prevalent from her experience in the different municipal governments she's been in as well.
And I think for the kids, it's gonna be a lot of the same questions, just probably asked. in a
Worded differently.
Worded
way.
differently and in a different, like, here's a QR code.
Yeah, yeah.
Scan, knock yourself out.
Mhm.
That way, again, we can be as inclusive as possible.
For sure.
For what the youth feels maybe our town is lacking or what we do great here. So,
I like it.
all right, so let me see, I had notes from last time we met, so, we did have the RSU projections, you guys had seen that as well from the school.
I didn't see
RSU
that.
57,
Is that a separate email or what?
yeah, that was an email to us from the school giving us results of.
I don't-
didn't get that.
You
I
guys
didn't
get
think
that?
I got that. Well, I'm not saying it's not, I'm not saying it isn't there,
Hey,
but
do
I
you
don't remember
that?
reading.
I do.
I
Okay.
don't remember seeing it.
What-
Oh,
Right here.
What's the date? The
Let
email.
me see.
I mean, it's probably in my computer. I hope it is.
I'm trying to find it.
It might be buried in
Um,
some other garbage. Not other garbage, but some garbage.
Where did it come from? The town manager?
she forwarded it to us.
Oh, okay.
Um,
No, otherwise I'll be.
I'm trying to find it myself.
Cursive.
No, I didn't get it.
Um, maybe this is it.
It's junk stuff.
Oh, I know it's in here somewhere. Dave, do you remember when it was sent to us?
I'm looking now.
I'm looking too.
I mean, well, yeah. I'm not saying it's not here. I'm just saying I don't see it.
Um,
Yeah, I don't see it.
Oh, here it is, I think. Here it is.
What the-
Thank you for your email and outreach in regards to the Town Alignment's Comprehensive Growth Program. They're gonna try to respond the best they can to what we've asked. So we had asked questions about where the schools were at for capacity, student
Oh.
enrollment.
And when was that? What date was that, please?
This date that, came back on November 20th is when the town manager forwarded it, and I
Oh,
don't think I
November.
forwarded it to you guys.
I'm sorry, you did or you didn't?
I don't know. I'm gonna forward it to you right now.
Okay, good, because I don't recall it.
Yeah.
That's not saying it's not buried. If it's November 20th, it's, oh, it's
I
down.
we had asked the questions. Would it be possible to get the current student capacity as well as the current student count per location at the following: Lyman Elementary, middle school, and high school? Also, does RSU 57 have any plans in place for growth or expansion for the next 10 years?
Oh, maybe I did see that. Let's see.
So
I
that's
can't
what
find
they gave us, and so Lyman Elementary currently has 243 students, capacity around 300.
Hmm.
Middle school has enrollment of 628, capacity 850. The high school is 900 with estimate capacity of 1100.
Somehow I remember
So
that.
these are pretty scary right there. I would say that the capacity, our numbers are absolute maximum amounts we have in our file based upon building capacity. However, these numbers do not relate to the maximum educational design capacity, which will be lower numbers than these amounts. The reason for this is that the high school and Lyman Elementary are both much older facilities, and the layout and design does not allow for the same capacity based upon current learning state needs. In the district's most recent enrollment analysis, it shows that Lyman is one of two communities in RSU 57 that will be growing the fastest. Given that some other elementary schools are at or near capacity, the district needs to evaluate how this growth will affect enrollment in all of the schools, and also which schools may need the addition of modular space.
Mm.
In addition, the high school facility has been maintained well, but is a very old facility which requires significant upgrades in order to meet needs for students for today and into the future. The district believes that a strong and vibrant high school is critical to meeting students' needs, so they will be prepared for whatever future path they pursue. We also believe that when folks look to move or build in a community, that a top priority is the educational system, and that is true.
Who wrote that?
This is actually from Colin Walsh, the Director of Finance and Operations.
Okay, so you're gonna send
I am
that.
gonna forward it,
You
yeah.
may have already done it. I mean, you probably did.
Uh-huh.
I just,
I don't remember if I did.
anyway.
So over the next 10 years, the RSU would envision a much different high school facility and campus layout than currently exists.
Oh, boy.
Although some towns will experience increased student enrollment, others will be stable over the foreseeable future. It is clear that this current enrollment projection, local growth, and building ordinances will likely impact these numbers as well. As for the RSU's elementary schools, we can envision some schools needing more space, which will likely be in the form of modular classrooms.
Oh, brother.
So I look at it this way, like I went to Madison Basic High School. I think, Peg, did you go?
Mhm.
It barely has changed, but maybe paint since I went there. And my
Totally.
husband was one of the first classes to go through.
Yep.
And it still has not changed since he's been there. And it's kind of sad. It's always, you have the mindset of, oh, flat fund this, flat fund that, don't do this. And then you wind up in a major pickle, which is what we're now in.
Well, who pays for, I mean, this, I don't know if this is quite relevant, but question in my mind is, I know we pay for the schools through the taxes, and they get actually about 2/3 of our money.
Uh-huh.
But
Or more.
who pays for the elementary schools? Is that all from the RSU? So that the town,
It's all combined.
okay, so the town does not, we don't pay directly for Lyman Elementary.
No, but if you think about, we're paying for all elementary schools in the district.
No, I know, but I'm just
Yes,
saying, we're
yes,
not paying,
yes.
we don't, if we're gonna add on to Lyman
So I'm
Elementary,
gonna add,
Huh.
SU 57
okay,
information.
okay,
And
good.
I'll put it in here. Does that work for everyone?
Yeah,
Any
I'll see if I
questions
can
asked?
get it.
And then I'll put the response in here. So we have it in one spot. I'm trying to create almost like a virtual folder.
Mm.
So when you open up, you have everything we worked with.
That's
Because
fine.
I think that's the biggest things too, that is, when you have different committees, the papers aren't all there for for the future people taking over.
Mhm.
So let me just grab the response that he gave and what we asked. So this is what we asked. And that way it's also very transparent what we did.
You know, it's kind of scary because I think like the projected growth for York County in a 10-year period is like 8.3%. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And the US, I think, is only like 7.7 or something like that.
Well, it depends how many people come across the border, but
Right.
whatever.
Right.
There's quite a bit right now, would you
Yeah,
say?
yeah.
And this was dated, what, November 20th, that we got this information. So, you know, just keeping that in mind as we do this, however long it takes.
Yeah.
Well, that's, I mean,
All right.
Michelle, do you know if the school system has talked anything about, bringing back the trades?
Yeah, I was actually part of their strategic planning committee. They had reached out to the local communities, and I, like a crazy lady, volunteered for Lyman. Don, I'm following in your footsteps, buddy.
no, God, no.
So I was actually on the committee all last year to do their strategic planning because they were trying to come up with their own strategic plan for the community, for the high school. And they had
Good idea.
I got lots of information again there from the youth that what bothered them about the school or what they were proud of and what they weren't proud of. And you got silly answers, but there was a lot of, they're very sad about their facilities and they have none. And there's no STEM classes for like the lower grades.
Ooh,
and
It's not good.
STEM doesn't hit till they're in junior high. And my kid would love STEM. And they also talked about, the state of the high school. It's not an attractive high school anymore when you look at the other ones they're going to. We have an awesome football field that's awesome, but the whole school's just about sinking into the
Are
ground.
they going to bring back some vocational ones or not?
They talked about that. There was one thing, the problem is, the problem that we found out, and even I had a nephew that he went to the Stanford VOTAC and he wound up doing plumbing. So I thought he wanted to be a plumber. No, he wanted auto mechanic and he couldn't get in. So he wound up getting educated as a plumber and wants nothing to do with it.
Oh,
But they have to vie for these spots.
oh, I see. Ooh.
There's very few spots and they get bused to Stanford, but we don't have any facilities. So they talked about maybe having an auto mechanic at Massey Basic or doing, building. There used to be something. There used to be building. There's no home ec. There's no industrial arts. There's
Really?
no learning to.
But the building won't come.
Where are they going to put it? They barely have enough room for the students.
Hmm.
So, because right now I think they have the option to go into Biddeford VOTAC or Stanford. But
Oh,
again,
is that an option now?
I think it is.
Okay.
But there's very limited slots. So a lot of kids don't get what they want or they can't get in.
Stanford's amazing.
That's
They
not,
did a great job with their new school.
that's
Yeah.
too bad. I mean, that, if somebody's interested in that and they can't get into it, then that's a big turnoff.
It is, and especially when you have a lot of kids that they're realizing more and more, there's so many kids that don't want to go to college.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean,
And we look at the trades and how we're short on people. My husband's 58 and he's one of the youngest carpenters I know. It's scary. And, they get the young pups in there and they don't want to work that hard. So it's a double-edged sword because the school knows the taxpayer doesn't want to take that burden on. Because that was talked about during our plans, which are also, I think, on YouTube.
Maybe those are some of the questions that we need to direct into our survey when we do the kids survey.
Yeah.
What kind of job outlooks do you
See. Yeah. So because they came up with they have their motto now, shall we say, for their strategic plan for them going forward into, and I actually was the one that pushed for community involvement, getting kids involved, and maybe part of their community service that they have to do is attend a town meeting. I said, get the kids seeing what their local government is like, because that now opens your eyes up to what the rest of the world is. But you got to start somewhere, start small, start at home. It's not what you want to see on TV, really, all the time, or on Facebook.
well, not being on Facebook, I don't have that burden.
You so are blessed, Dawn. So blessed.
No more. No Facebook for me.
So
Okay, well, that sounds
We had talked
reasonable.
about areas of expansion was something else we talked about. And I don't know why I wrote that note.
Areas of expansion with the school
I don't know, anything.
or?
I think the town in general.
Yeah, that,
Where are we, anybody, has nothing to do with comprehensive plan, I was just, is the, like, expansion for the town hall?
I don't know where that stands.
I don't know.
I know
But
that
I guess
they
it
met
is.
with, I did ask, about that, and Dave, aren't you on that committee?
Which,
The expansion committee?
For the town
Where you
hall?
guys- Where you guys at?
we are, oh, boy. We are redesigning, the area, to go out, the opposite direction there.
Oh.
The designers thought it would be best. So we're actually, moving forward with that. Moving forward with the information.
You're in the planning, and so you're in the planning phase, right? So there's,
Yes.
is there enough money with that ARPA to do the planning?
There should still be money in there. We haven't really expended any.
Yeah,
It was encumbered for it. As long as it's encumbered by December 2024, they
yeah, I know there's a time limit on that. It's coming right up, though.
Yeah. But no, just as long as it's encumbered, you're all good, which I
Oh.
think they all are. The only money that's gonna be left over, because I asked Jeanette at the last budget meeting, the Kennebunk Pond is gonna come in under what they got for funds from ARPA, so there's gonna be a wee bit of money left from that.
Yeah,
So that will just have to be encumbered on something before December 2024.
okay.
So there's,
But then obviously the expansion would cost more than that ARPA money.
yes.
So that'd have to go to the town for a vote,
ARPA
presumably.
money?
No, not the ARPA,
Yeah,
the money to pay for the expansion.
yeah.
The planning is maybe the ARPA will cover the planning part of it.
Because
Which
Dave, my
is
understanding was that the last meeting with the architects that there was discussion of going up and you really can't go up at this location,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, there was a lot, because you're talking staircases, elevators.
Yeah,
It's a lot more difficult.
Access.
To go up and continue business.
Right. And there
Mm.
wasn't really like the foundation that was done here wasn't really meant to
Well,
go.
we
and-
investigated, the initial design, and it would be very burdensome to,
Yeah,
to recertify the footings. And,
oh, God.
yeah,
you're basically engineering everything over.
okay.
So it's best to just, put the addition on it to the side.
All right, so I mean, I think that, we'll get our little tiny first survey going.
Yep.
See what responses we get back, because that's gonna take a little bit, and if you just keep putting it out there, as well as getting it in tax bill, so
Mhm.
flood the
Yep.
website and the
Yep.
pages with it, and then get it in the tax bill. Again, maybe we can ask the only color, I mean, I'll even volunteer to buy the paper, I don't know.
Yeah,
Because we could just do strips, like half.
absolutely,
sheets.
yep,
But I think a color is necessary.
absolutely.
So what do
It
you,
would be helpful too.
yeah, I just think a brighter color.
Hot pink.
I don't know how many people look with favor on the tax bill in the first place, so
Right.
you want to have something that stands out.
I think if they just see white and they open it up, they're not gonna read it, but I think if there's a half piece of paper folded and stuck in
Yeah,
there,
I think so too.
that they're gonna open it up and look at it. I would anyways.
I definitely.
For usually I see the tax bill and just kind of throw it on my desk.
Yep.
No, I mean, that's common. That would be-
So let me break that down. So
Okay.
again, meeting, action, I'm just doing, action items. Does that work?
Yeah, survey questions is the only thing I can see that I need to work on right now. Be able to do that.
All right, so I have survey questions per section. And I have it broken out of who's doing what. And then what was there I was gonna say?
We're gonna ask Lindsay, are you putting that in there? Ask Lindsay about
The insert to the tax bill.
the insert to the tax bill and when the tax bills are going out. I guess that's more of a,
And what the timeline is, how much time we have to fool around here.
All right. Is there anything else we feel we can undertake before?
No, what's our schedule here for
I think right
meetings?
now we're meeting every other Thursday, if that works
Yeah.
for everyone.
Let me just put it in my book. If I don't put it in my book, it doesn't happen.
So it's gonna be what's the next one, Peg?
Is the 25th?
25th?
25th, okay, yeah. And we're gonna stay at 6, right?
Yep, if that works for everyone, it does me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 6:30 screws me up because all the other meetings I've gone,
Me
they're all
too.
at 6 now, so
Right.
Me too.
I think 6 is better than,
All right. So I'm just putting this in here too, so I can just copy and paste this to Lindsay in the morning.
Sure.
and if I have any difficulty getting, I'm gonna send you an email, as far as getting
Yes.
onto that.
I think what it's gonna do is gonna ask you to ask for permission, and the permission comes to me because it's my drive.
Right.
And then I just have to approve you.
But if that, hopefully that will work once and not have to be done each time. But anyway,
No, it's-
let me
it's a
try.
one- it's a one
Okay,
and
let me
done.
try that. Let me try
I'm
that.
wondering if you already have asked.
I did with, but it was under the ordinance review committee with Mike.
Right.
Mike did that at one time. So I think I'm okay there. Okay, all right, I'll give it
Yeah,
a shot.
I don't see anything yet, but if you, like, if you send it's usually will say to me.
Okay, I'll do it when I get home.
It'll say to me that someone's asking.
You must have already added me because I didn't know.
Yeah, you're already in there. Yours
Okay.
is easy.
All right, I can do that.
And just even if you email me and say you've asked permission, so I'll check my other folders if I'm not seeing it.
Okay.
So,
Oh, yeah.
anything else, Dave, on your end?
No, I think we have a good direction.
Yep, like I said, there's
Good direction.
anyone that wants to add more links to the surveys and other plans, if you find any,
Yep.
from what I put in. If
Okay.
you have access to the OneNote, I made you all editors. So
Oh,
just
good.
even if you want to start just go beneath or draw a slash and input it by put your initials next to it, right above whichever you're gonna put in.
Okay.
Or put it in a different color or whatever you want to do.
I haven't really used this, so I'm kind of.
I need to take a look at it
It's
first.
just like, consider it like a notebook. It's just like a notebook with tabs, the little, like so where it says add page.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like a 5-star notebook. You're just
Yeah.
adding a section. If you want your own section and you want to add like Peg's section, knock yourself out.
Yeah,
You Dawn's section, Dave's section, I can add one for you if you want.
Mhm.
But all you do is hit add page.
Mhm.
You can type
Whatever you want.
Peg's page. And there's Peg's. And then you just start typing.
Okay.
It doesn't,
Anything.
anything.
And
You're gonna drag me into the 21st century.
I am kicking and screaming, Dawn.
You're trying.
I'm trying. I'm gonna give you
There
all
you
a
go.
page.
God help
Look now.
Now I'll have to put some in there.
Look at that. Everyone has a page now.
Okay.
We're so fancy.
I'll do mine too, just in case I want to put special stuff in there. So if you need to go back and review what we did or what we're doing, it's right there. And I just thought this would be the easiest place because it's a little more like a folder versus Drive, which
Yeah.
is confusing with the way they do it.
Yep.
And if you hate Drive, I can do Dropbox. Just let me know.
Let me try this first and I'll get back. And I don't have a problem with PDF, by the
Yep.
way. It's just, I cannot edit PDF because I don't have that version of
Adobe.
Adobe, but I have, I can download PDF and stuff like that. That's not an
Sure.
issue. I just can't edit anything.
Yeah, you should be able, like I said, inside OneNote, you would be able to edit things.
Okay.
This is just the.
Well, let me try. I'll go mess with it and see.
Yeah, whatever works, I will do whatever I need to do to get everyone happy
Yeah.
with
No, that's
the
good.
format.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
I mean, it's better than
Yes,
keep sending pages.
so that's it, that's all I have for tonight. I didn't do, if you guys want me to do an agenda, I'm more than willing to, but it's kind of like I don't know what the point.
I don't see one necessary right now. I mean, maybe in the future it gets more complicated.
I did like, and again, I gotta find which one it was. One of them listed out their comprehensive plan in phases. So phase 1 was collect data.
Yeah.
Or do a certain thing. I think having phases. we could
That's
talk
not a
about
bad
that.
idea.
Yeah.
It sort of helps you focus on what the major tasks are.
So let's concentrate on the survey questions, and if you have time before now, next meeting,
Take a
look
look.
at the phases. On whichever, I can't remember which one it was. Go through the ones that, there's not a ton in there. One of them listed their project out by phases, and if we could kind of maybe adopt
That's not one.
something like that, we could make a phases page in here, and kind of give us goals and deadlines to try to meet, to
Yeah.
keep it moving.
Yep.
Because otherwise, I think we'll stall out, because it is a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, well, we got to start.
Yeah, we gotta start somewhere.
Take a bite of the apple each, you know.
If we wanna start looking at even more local towns nearby that are near us, like I haven't looked at Waterrose, I haven't looked at Arundel's,
Arundel's is pretty good.
is theirs pretty good, so, you know,
I think that, had heard that some of the towns have contracted with the Southern Maine to be their planner,
Yep.
Lee J's one of them.
Lee J.
In Arundel.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how much he does of this. I sort of wonder, you know,
he
what,
does he's working with Hollis right now.
was he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of them.
A lot.
Yeah.
But financially, again, to try to prevent the taxpayers from bearing too much
Yeah.
of the burden, I think if we
Right.
can get the survey going, get some results. Now that we have this
Yeah.
other agency gonna collect some of the data for us,
Yep.
where it's all gonna be fluid, so we'll have that.
I'm still wondering the connection, if there is a connection between that agency and Southern Maine at all. Sounds
Well-
like there isn't.
I
Right.
don't think there is. I don't think there is, because it's the
I
agricultural.
mean, maybe Southern Maine Planning does use some census data, but
But, well, isn't that the only data? I don't know what's available. I just, my own ignorance, I don't know what source of data is available other than census. You know, because when you see something on TV that, you know, 30% of the children in Maine are food insecure, I always wonder, where does that data come from?
yeah.
You know, I'm not saying it's untrue, if that's probably not the right number. It's a pretty big number though, if they put it on TV.
Yeah,
Well,
they
yeah, because we just got a flyer that the Lyman's in dire need of donations for the backpack program.
Oh,
The backpack program is where kids, there's a small fridge and there's a little cupboard, and the kids take home food for the weekend.
Oh,
because these
okay.
Kids don't have food.
yeah, see, I just don't know how I don't know how they get that
Southern
data,
Maine
that's all.
Planning and Development Commission wouldn't be like getting this data independently, right?
I
mean,
wouldn't
like-
hope not.
Like educational data, they're probably not gonna go to RSU 57 and get that data themselves, are they?
I don't know. I would
No,
hope
No,
not.
either.
I don't know how they would do that. I don't know. I think.
Well,
some-
and maybe if we get a chance to talk to one of these guys, I would just ask them, you know, what is the source of your data? Is it
maybe
all
some general
census?
assistance programs.
You know, I mean, maybe there's standard source. Let's hope I just hope they all
Yeah.
use the same database.
Yes,
Maybe they
yes. Right.
parse it a little differently,
This Tom
but
gentleman was willing to meet us by Zoom, and we could ask him that.
Yeah.
We could, I think that's a good question to ask him, so let me just,
Questions, that's a page, baby.
yeah.
I know, where's the task, where was the task? So questions for Tom, I'm gonna put it right here, right?
Yeah, because
Where
I
does
mean,
this all the data come from?
I just wonder because you just, you know, because you see stuff and.
Well, we know
it's-
where his data comes from, right?
Yeah,
His
well,
data comes from census, because it says it, it references the census.
Yeah.
So I'm asking him if he has anything to do with zoning planning commission.
Right.
So
Yeah, I
I got
would-
2 questions there.
good, okay, well, we
that
can
work?
find that out, that'll help.
Yeah.
I mean, make it a little clearer maybe.
And maybe in February, we could ask for a Zoom with him. You know,
Yes.
let's just get our, I think the survey is most important right now.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, let's
That's
move on
super.
that. All right,
I agree,
anything else?
baby.
I can't think of anything else.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, let me end the YouTube.
have a good, hope things go okay for you down there, Dave.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Have a good night.
You're gonna come back as a bionic person or something?
Probably. Thanks all.
Yep.